I'm also streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube today. Interesting day in the market. I have already, I've already been in and out of the market. At the market open, the market was moving in a downward motion. And if you're on YouTube, you can see this. I have put this up on the screen so that you can see this. I started with initially with just just going short, and then I added to the position, and now I'm all out. I went all out on I went all out at 1024, made some nice money. Yeah, so it's been interesting already. Already interesting in the market. I am currently in all cash. That's the position that I have currently. I am all cash right now, and that is the market. Here you can see the market trend is definitely, it's an uptrend, which is interesting because you wouldn't think that, but indeed it is. I believe the market is repositioning. Again, very interesting thing. If you are shorting the market, and I'm going to try to cover a little bit of this today. If you're shorting the market, typically the best time to short the market is right when it opens after about 20, 30 minutes. Short then, and then start to cover it around 10:30. That's how I have found optimal, because typically what will happen is if the market is for either for a market index or for shares, typically you're going to see the worst damage in the beginning of the market. So that's just a little tip that you can save some money sometimes and make a little bit more other times. It's just an interesting thing how that works. But typically, when you're shorting, the most damage typically down comes really at the beginning of the day, which is so interesting. Which is so interesting. So that's a kind of an interesting, that's a kind of an interesting thing that you have there, where it's essentially a phenomenon where it's going to be in the beginning of the day. So basically, we're coming up on we're coming up on earnings season. The earnings season this year will probably be absolutely horrible. It just it's just looking that way. Unfortunately, it's just not looking really good for anything on the earnings. So I think that the way to go right now is to potentially move to short, and that's the basically thing. My play this morning, just so you'll know, again, I'm out. Actually, my play this morning was to short the SPY again. It seems to be my go-to thing. I mean, that and Tesla seem to be paying the bills, at least for me. I made a little under $700 this morning by shorting. Not too bad, and I'm pretty much done for the day. With earning low. Yeah, I think so. I think earnings are good. Snoot Doggy, I think earnings are definitely going to go lower. I mean, that's essentially what everyone is saying. I mean, I don't think that's any mystery, but there are 3 companies that are going to report that I think you should be aware of. And it's actually, this is up on the site, and that is Hess. It's an oil company, of course, as we all know. Hess, also Alaska Air. You want to be looking at that one, and also you want to be looking at Nordstrom. So the symbols that you want to be looking at are ALK, that's Alaska Airlines, Hess, HES, and Nordstrom, which is JWN. Now, the interesting thing here is that looking at the charts, we may be in a position to short them, and that is potentially, I'm going to look at Hess first because I believe that the oil sector is still under pressure. Yeah, okay, it's down today probably would have been a good day to short it at the open. It's been basically down. It's trading at 40.64. I believe you could comfortably short this down to about 35. I figure you can short this down to about 35. That would make you probably $10 a share. I do believe that we're going to see it readjust lower. So Hess is definitely one that you want to watch list for shorting. Also, Alaska Airlines, symbol ALK. That's another one which I think will short very, very nicely, possibly before earnings. Now, how do you take the position? I would take, okay, it's down sharply today. It's 30.32. I think you have got a nice window to short down to, let's look at it. I'm going to say about 25 to short it from about 35. So there's about there's about 5 points there, which would be on 100 shares, of course, $500. So that's not chump change, actually. I believe you could make that pretty quickly on that kind of thing. Earnings season basically starts this week. Okay, and what is earnings season? I think I ought to explain exactly what earnings season is. Earnings season is basically companies always report everything on the quarter. It's a quarterly basis. So companies will report during the quarter what their previous quarter was. Now, also to smooth the market out, typically they'll pre-announce if they think there's a problem. Well, everybody's had a problem this time, so they got rid of with the pre-announcement. So it's sort of anybody's guess as to what the situation is going to be in terms of the market. So the earnings this time will be a little bit blind. We all know that they're going to be bad. The question is how bad. And so the reason I'm talking about these three industrials, Alaska Airlines and Hess and Nordstrom, is because they're in very challenged sectors of the market. These are stocks which have been part of many portfolios. They're good companies, but in this environment where nobody's flying, nobody's buying retail, and the price of oil is in question, these are the ones that may be hit very, very hard in terms of that. So I think you should definitely look at putting them on your watch list. Now, it's true the technology sectors typically are up, but there's some in there that might be worth looking at as well. Let's see if you count. Yeah, they might be up. Sorry. Okay. Boy, this is a good question. The Wells Fargo has been trading down. The banks have generally been trading down. I'm looking here at the financials. Okay, the financials is currently today one of the worst performing areas. That's symbol XLF. That's the financials. And that gives you basically an idea of how the financials are trading. I think Wells Fargo is going to take a hit, even though they've been allowed now to go in and put together some of the stimulus money. They've been able to. They were on restriction because they were opening people's accounts that didn't. Yeah, the XLF is trading at 22.64. It's down. I think it's going to slide some more, possibly tomorrow. But a good question. This is a definite short, this is a good sector to look for shorts in, because the two worst, the bottom three in terms of performance are the industrials, which is the XLI, the financials, which includes the banks, that's the XLF, and the real estate sector, the XLRE. I started to short the real estate. I was shorting the real estate spider last week, but I was too early in it. I think that when earnings start coming out in earnest, I think you're going to see that being really down. What are your favorite short-term plays? Well, basically in this market, even though it says that we are out of correction and the market is in a confirmed uptrend, I don't believe that. I think we're still going to find a bottom. My current best trades are basically shorting the sector ETFs and the broader ETFs. Why do I do that? Well, because the damage to the market has been so universal, trying to pick anyone good or bad is difficult, and it's much easier to just go short on a particular spider sector of the economy. You're going to get the maximum that way. When we go 100% into the S&P 500, I want to see, before I'm going to start going long again in the S&P 500, I want to see it retest its low, which for the spider, which is the most broad ETF, is 218. It's nowhere near that right now. Initially, I was talking about a week ago about how I thought that the spider would bounce at about 275. Well, sure enough, it did that today. I don't know if it'll hold, but I think that there's resistance, at least on the upward for the market, at about 275 on the SPY. That's the one thing to really, really look at, because that's going to give you an idea of how to play it. The reason I like to short broad ETFs is because it's just easier to figure out the direction, and you just go in early in the day, you close up early, and then you walk away with some money. So that's basically it. Pretty easy to do. Let's see, KO, that Coca-Cola. Let me look at that. How about a KO call at 65? Let me look at KO. KO is a bellwether, as we all know. Coca-Cola is everywhere. Everybody drinks it. Even though we're looking. Okay, Coca-Cola is down. It's 47.34. Let me look at the options on this one really carefully. Now, you were saying a 65. Okay, a 65 call. I don't know about that. Maybe as a seller. Let me look at the 65s. Look at those strikes here. Hold on. Look at 14 strikes. Okay. Wow, that's really out of the money. Okay, let's see if I can look at them all here. Wow, that's really, wow. Okay, that's not even trading right now. 99 cents. Huh. This is the April 24. Wow. I don't think so. I don't think so. I wouldn't. I think that would be pretty safe to sell it at that level. I wouldn't buy it at that level. Yeah, I just don't think you're going to make any money on that. Personal opinion on the KO call. I think if you're going to go sell, are you going to sell covered, or are you looking to buy? I wouldn't be looking to buy a call right now. I would be looking possibly to sell a put. That might be a better bet. Let's look at the puts. If you sold a 51, well, Scott, it's only worth 19. Wow. You could sell not even very good. You could sell a 46.50 April 24th for $1.13. That would be the bid on it. Gosh, I wouldn't take that trade personally. Okay, let's see what we got. Oh, right. Wow, oh, I'm sorry. Okay, September. Okay, cool. I'm sorry. I was looking too short there. Let's look at September. Yeah. In September, that's a much more reasonable. That's a much more reasonable deal. Okay, at 56. Let's look at 56. Yeah, the 65. That's pretty good. I mean, if we think that it's going to recover, that's a cheap call. Wow, you could buy that call. Now, I would think about buying that one. That might not be so bad. That's 14 cents for a call there. That gives you the right, of course, as we all know, for 14 cents, basically $1.50, you can buy 100 shares at the 65 price at or before the 18th of September. That one might be, that's an interesting one. I do think that if the economy reopens, that's a really interesting question. If the economy reopens, it's going to definitely that call will appreciate. If the economy reopens as we think it is, I do believe, I am an optimist. I do think it is going to reopen. That one might not be a bad play. I would possibly, though, I know it's a little expensive, but I would try for the 60 at 38 cents. I would try for the 60 rather than the 65. I think the 60 has a whole lot higher likelihood of coming true. So there you go. Any value of Disney? Okay, 102 on Disney. DIS. Let me quickly look at that one. Let me see. For Disney, yeah, it's trading. Its last trade was 102.64, and look at the chart on that one. Okay, it's down today. That's no surprise. It looks like there's a key support level on Disney. Wow, that's interesting. It's right about 100. I think this is a short candidate. As strange as that sounds, I think this is a short candidate. I don't think you want to go long on that at 102, at least not in the short term. I think you want to see. I wouldn't buy Disney unless it closed above 108. That would be my guess if I was going long. I'm not long anything, just for sake of just for sake of full disclosure. I'm not long anything. I'm short, and that's how I have I'm playing it currently. I am short, as you can see, and I'm showing the Investor Business Daily here with the sectors of the economy. Everything is lower today, and I suspect it's going to stay that way for a while. It's a good time to possibly short, and that's what I'm doing. Any value in Disney at 102? Yeah, tons of value in Disney. When this thing is over with, it's going to come back. Now, here's the thing: Disney has a great streaming service. People that are cooped up at home are watching it like crazy. But ultimately, Disney is a resort company. And it depends on the Disney Cruise Line, which isn't doing much right now, and also their theme parks, which are great, but nobody's going to them. So I think that, basing everything off your streaming service when there's Netflix out there, and they just launched this thing called QB, which may or may not do well. By the way, sake of full disclosure, QB is doing well, but guess what? It's number one in the space. It's TikTok. Well, I'm on right now. So there you go. See, September contract for long term. Oh, you're not on Periscope. You're right. I'm not on Periscope today. I'm trying out Facebook. Thank you for noticing. Wow, somebody actually noticed. This is great. I am going to move to hopefully go to I'm on YouTube and Facebook today. Tomorrow on this broadcast, I'm going to be on Periscope and Facebook. I'm going to get rid of my YouTube. I mean, YouTube is great, but I'm just one of many, many people on YouTube. I think I'm going to go Periscope because Periscope, I love Periscope. I'm just building my user base there. So I thank you so much for watching. Do you have a safe shorts that I should consider your best bets? Okay. boy, this is a really, really good question. I typically do my research the night before just because of the way the market is trending. It depends. I wouldn't go short on the SPY tomorrow, but I think by Wednesday it will be a short. That's my opinion. That's sort of how it sets up. I think that there's going to be a little bit of relief. Nobody wants to short the SPY. Nobody wants the SPY to be shorted. So there's these little relief rallies. Yeah, we're seeing one right now. Let's see if I can zoom in on that. Yeah, interesting. Wow. Okay, I'm glad I closed my short positions there because it is now lower. I mean, it has now moved back up. I think if SPY opens below 275, I think it's a very good short, and I think you can make. But keep careful, short it in the morning and then cover. You'll probably make at least 1 or 2% down, hopefully. So that's what I'm recommending right now. Tesla is pumping. Let's look at Tesla. One of my absolute favorite stocks. I'll be honest here. I love Tesla. I have made some money on Tesla. I love stocks when I make money. It is up, boy. What do you know? This is this is the one stock I think that is really bucking the trend. Look at that. Look at it go, man. It's 628. Look at that. It's bound counter to the market. Wow. That is incredible. That is incredible. That is just incredible. Okay. That is incredible. Boy, look at the bid-ask spread. Woo. This is really unique. I mean, you've got bids here that are 601 and you've got asks that are 638. I've never seen a bid-ask spread like that on a stock. Wow. So people aren't selling. So that's a good sign. Do you think oil has bottomed now? You know what? I think it might have bottomed. We're going to know more on this. We're going to absolutely know more on the oil situation when this thing shakes out. Now, we did get some agreement on cuts, but believe me, if OPEC is going to cut, all these little other countries like Mexico, and I say little because, of course, Mexico was just being obstinate right now. They don't want to cut their production because they're so dependent on it. So I don't think the cuts have been big enough. I think we may see oil go lower because I believe that even with these cuts, and not to be a pessimist here, but even with these cuts, all the little guys that have been off the market, like Venezuela and places like that, Iran, they're all gonna come in and they're gonna try to sell their crude because they need the money. They absolutely need the money. So I think in the near term, I don't know if we can hold on to $20 oil. I think we may be at $15 oil. So not a good situation. Gush, let's look at Gush. Gush is a cool one because, of course, it is a kind of an interesting ETF. Look at Gush. Yeah, Gush is down today. That's not a surprise. The overall market is down. This is probably, depending, this may be a short. I don't know. It's hard to say. It depends on how this opens. If this opens tomorrow, if Gush opens tomorrow above 28, I would short it. Absolutely. So I'm going to write that down. Gush. If Gush opens above 28, short. I'm just making little notes for myself, and that's a good idea. Tesla is still up. Oh, yeah. Not a buying opportunity on Tesla. Not a buying opportunity on Tesla yet. Wait until Tesla. Tesla's an interesting stock. It's trading, the bid ask is it's about 600 and 630. Wait until Tesla drops below 580. 580 seems to be a magical number for them. At that point, I believe it's a buy, but I don't believe it's a buy right now. I think it will retrace. I gotta go. Hey, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Why is shorting stocks bad? Well, it isn't bad. Here's why people tell you shorting is bad. They tell you that because they have money invested in the market and they don't want to sell. What do you do when you short? Well, you borrow the shares and then you sell them and then you cover it later. Now, the hedge funds and the big people on Wall Street, they don't want you to short because they don't want to take, you don't want you to take their money. Well, believe me, shorting is a good thing because what happens is that the market is going to readjust to the correct levels based on the information available. And right now, unfortunately, the economy, due to this coronavirus thing, is moving lower. And there's just people that will not sell. They'll just hang on for dear life, and they will not sell. So as a short, you are helping them in a way. I mean, you're helping the market. You're not really helping them. You're helping the market reassess the real true levels that it should be trading at. Because every stock has in its life cycle, a life cycle. It moves up, and then as its products become obsolete or not quite as competitive, it moves down. Sometimes really great stocks like Apple, they'll do this several times. But most of the time, that's not the case. There's just a lot of companies that are going to get washed out in this downturn, and many of them won't come back. I mean, I hate to say that because it's a very harsh reality. But as a short seller, you can profit from this downtrend, and that's just all I'm trying to say. You can definitely shop. You can definitely profit from it. Okay. Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate it, Mark. Appreciate it. So what do you love? Love shorting? Well, right now shorting is good. Okay. Oh, work. That's interesting. Right now shorting is good. Why? Because the market's in retreat. If here's the thing about the stock market. Typically, most of the time, look at that. Nice. This is Slack. Yeah, Slack's. Yeah, okay. Well, that makes sense. Totally. Slack. Yeah, excellent. 20. Yeah, it's moving up. 24.53. That might be a long. Wow. Okay. I'm going to put that on my list. Thank you for that. Slack. Long. Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, there's going to be companies that benefit from this shut-in. Slack's going to be one of them. There's no question. Microsoft, of course, with Microsoft Teams. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that. I don't want people to hear that. They're going to benefit, but I think Slack is definitely in there, and it's strong, man. So great call for long. Do you do? Well, I do sometimes do my live trades. I'm right now. I'm trying to figure out how to show that on. I'm sort of technically challenged. I mean, even though, I've been in the tech world for like 30 years, man. Even me, I'm having trouble with things like live streaming. But I'm going to try to do that to show kind of on a spreadsheet, kind of what I'm trading. Let me show you just really quickly. No, I can't do it. I'm going to try to show you my trades relatively live stream based on if I can get this thing up, if I can show you my account. But yeah, I would. For full disclosure, and I'm going to put this up on my on my screen. I shorted the SPY at let's see, 276 11, and covered at there we go. Covered at 272.77. I wrote it down. So yeah, that, and I'm going to add that one up on my screen here. This is going to kind of give you, this is only on TikTok and I mean, not on TikTok, on YouTube and on and on Facebook, which I'm streaming on currently. So that gives you an idea of where I'm. What are the risks involved in shorting stocks? Okay, let me tell you what the risks are. The thing about the problem with shorting is when you short a stock, it typically moves down. It typically moves down faster than a stock moves up when you're in a long position. So that could be great. You can make a lot of money in doing shorting stocks, but you must be very careful because you have these tremendous snapback realities where the stock will reverse. It'll move higher. People will jump into it mainly because of what they call short covering. So with at the early part of the year, I made very good money in Tesla. There was a short covering rally. It was called the blow off. It created what they call a blow off top, and Tesla actually went up to 968, I believe, in price. Now, what I did was I was long at that point because the market was long, and I wasn't short. And what I did is I purchased the shares at basically in the 500 range, and then I kept moving up my stop loss until finally it capitulated. And when it did, it came crashing down, and I was able to sell out at 925, 900, that kind of range. I did very, very well. But that's typically what will happen is that when you're shorting, there can be these tremendous rallies up to the upside. And if you notice last week, supposedly we had the best week since 1938 or something like that. That was the result basically of that's a snapback rally, and you don't want to be a short when that happens. You've got to kind of want to wait. Now, I was waiting basically. I didn't do anything. I went long on Tesla last week, but this week is going to be a shorting week probably. As the market, I believe, is going to go lower. It's going to come back to where it was when it initially moved down. And so when you short, you want to set your buy to cover at the price of the stock that you have shorted at what you sold at plus about 5%, and always put those stop losses in there so that if you have the problem, it will come back. And there you go. Shorted oil. Wow. Look at that. Look at that. That rocks. That totally rocks, by the way. I don't know if everyone's seeing this, but Miami rocks, shorted oil at 43 and it went all the way to 24. That is a rocking trade, man. That is a rocking trade. Wow, that is awesome. I wish I had done that. I mean, I was a little bit more tepid on it. I wasn't as sure. I mean, so that's just a killer trade. Just want to point that out, man. That's awesome. Yeah, the SQQ. Thank you very much for bringing that up. If you can't short the market directly, the way you want to go probably is the leveraged ETF that shorts the market for you. Now that's down. That's weird, huh? Okay, let me see how it's trading. Because normally the SQQQ on a day like today would be a good play, but I see. Yeah, I can see why. That is interesting. Okay, well, it's trading down, but it came up to. That is interesting. I can't figure that one out, to be honest. I can't figure that one out because I shorted the spider this morning, and that's one of the reasons I tried to short it directly, and I did very well. But I guess it's moving back up. Let's see SPY. Okay. Yeah. The spider's back up. That's really so interesting. I may have a good, nice short setup for tomorrow. Okay, yeah, the spider is moving upward once more. 273.69. I covered at 272.77. So, anyways, it's moving back up. That is really strange. Normally it is the kind of thing where, Normally it's the kind of thing where it's a situation where that would be a good trade. The SQQQ. Okay, let's look at the XOP. XOP. This might be a good short candidate. XOP. Okay, yeah. Okay, this is a very good short candidate. It's trading at 41.62. This is probably going to go down tomorrow. Low volume, relatively speaking. Let me look here. Yeah, the XOP. Yeah, this bad boy, this might be a short for tomorrow. It looks like it could lose. I'm looking at it here. I think it's a short down to about 38. Jesus, that's really good. That's about a $3. That's a potentially a 5% move, which would make you some money. Is Periscope up? No, unfortunately, it's not. I will have Periscope up tomorrow. I am so sorry about that. If you want to see me, though, I am broadcasting on YouTube. That feed is up, and that's at YouTube, and then just type in Dallas Trading Floor, and it's up on that. So I will move to Periscope tomorrow. I'm glad you're pointing this out. You're telling me that I need to be on Periscope and probably YouTube or Facebook. I can't figure out which to go on. I can go to 2, but I can't go to any more than that, unfortunately. It's a bad idea. SQQQ. Yeah, I think so. I think so. The SQQQ though, the SQQQ trades against the market, so that's the thing you got to be. That's the thing you got to be aware of. It trades against the market, and so let's see if I can give you a good idea here on something else, because I have this other thing up. Let's see if I can pull it back. There we go. All right. All right. So it's about I wouldn't hold the SQQQ. The SQQQ, just to explain kind of what the SQQQ is. The SQQQ is a the SQQQ is an inverse ETF, and basically what it does is that it takes the indexes of the QQQ, which is the Nasdaq 100, and then it goes short against that on a 3 times leveraged basis. So it's very volatile. Typically, though, if the market is quickly repositioning itself, you can make money here. But that said, it's the kind of thing where you want to be really careful, because it's just it can be very, very deadly. So you don't want to hold it for very long. It's just one of those things. It's an in and out kind of deal. It's a trading mechanism. It's a hedging mechanism. It was primarily designed for people that want to basically move against, that have a portfolio. They don't want to sell it. They don't want to liquidate it. It's used as a sort of a hedging tool. I don't know. I don't know. It's really now that's really interesting. Okay, the Russell. Okay, interesting. Okay, well that was basically. Okay, no, that's wrong. Because the market didn't jump this morning. The market has been in correction this morning, so that's the reason I shorted. Hey Jim, Tesla's a buy or sell. Right now, it is. Are you holding Tesla? If you're holding Tesla, I would consider placing a conditional order on it to sell it, because it looks like it's going to pop. I don't know. It may go higher. It's so hard. Tesla is a really interesting stock because it tends to move. It doesn't move against the market. Boy, it is really moving today. Wow. If it went to 640, I would sell it. If I was holding it. I probably wouldn't be a buyer, and I'd be a buyer under 540, as I've said for a long time. I'm definitely a buyer under 540, probably a buyer under 580. And that's because I'm looking at the chart here, And I'm seeing, yeah, saying 553. Good question. Between 550 and 580, I'd be a buyer. I'd be a seller at about 640 right now. But that doesn't mean you can't jump back in. Boy, it is nice. It is trading well. 280, 238. Wow, I wish I had gone long on that this morning. I went short on the spider, which turned out well for me, but I could have really made some money on. I could have really done well had I gone long on Tesla this morning, because it's very interesting. It's moving. Tesla is really strong because it's moving against the market, which shows that there's just tremendous support for it. Thoughts on UCO? Let me look at UCO quickly to see where we're going there. UCO. Pro shares. Ultra. This is the Bloomberg. Wow. It's trading at 206, but it's up. Not a lot of action on this one, really. I don't know. I can't really say. This doesn't really seem like it's a really that good one. I wish we could see the charts. I wish you could too. I'm still trying to work that out on Periscope, where you can see exactly what I'm, the charts I'm looking at, because I'm actually running another monitor right next to me, and I can't project it on TikTok because I don't have the ability to do the green screen live. That's the biggest problem that I have. Yeah, any recommendation if you can't short directly? Well, the best way to do that is with these short ETFs, and there's a number of them. There's a company called Direxion, Direxion. They have several of these. The two that I really are standouts for me in terms of shorting are the SQQQ, which is the bear ETF. That's if you think the market is going to go down, that's the one you want to buy. It goes up. Typically, it's not working today. Or if you think the market is going to go up, you buy the directional up ETF for the SQQQ. That's the for the QQQ, and that is the TQQQ. So those are kind of two. Those are sort of two ones that you've got. Basically, that's the best way to do it is with these short ETFs. That's basically the best situation that you're going to get. Now on my screen, I'm showing kind of what the typical market strategy should be, depending on how much you should have invested. Now, according to Investors Business Daily, currently we should be 100% invested. I don't believe that, because I don't believe we're in confirmed uptrend. I mean, I know that technically we are, but this is a relief rally. So I believe that the market is still in correction, and so I believe that we should be we should be in cash, or we should be short right now. That's just my opinion. So I am actually going against my own recommendation. I have on my screen, I have a confirmed uptrend, which I think if we really think about this, is not going to be something we want to be in right now. I don't think we want to be in a confirmed uptrend situation. And matter of fact, I'm going to push that off, because I just think it's not the kind of position you want to be in this market. I think you want to be in cash. Right. SPXS. I'm still bearish. Okay, Bobby. Let's see. SPXS. Let me look at that one. XPXS. Sorry. XS. Look at that bad boy. Is that right? Oh, SPXS. Sorry. Wowee. SPXS. All right, let's look at that one. Yeah, okay. Interesting. Direxion. Okay. S&P 500. Yeah, this is interesting. This is really, really interesting. Okay, well, this tells us something. This tells us that the market may trade up. Wow, I'm not bearish. I'm not bullish, but man, it may actually trade up. Isn't that interesting? So they're buying this ETF. Wow, that's very interesting because I made money today shorting. So that is very, very interesting. It's very, very interesting. It's very hard to gauge this market because that one should not be. That just shouldn't be. That just shouldn't be the case. I'm not bullish right now. I'll be honest with you. I am not bullish on this market yet. I mean, I will be, but I don't think this is properly bottomed, and just my my take on it. I'm not bullish on this. So I would not be in this one. Okay. Oh, okay. It's an inverse. Okay. Well, yeah. No, that makes sense. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry for getting that wrong, because I'm looking at yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, that makes sense then. That makes sense. I'd be careful about entering this one. Wait to see if we get a confirmation day tomorrow. If this thing moves higher, yeah, see, there we go. Okay, Dow leads the market lower. Okay, so there you go. That's why. That's why. Absolutely. Absolutely. That is interesting. So yeah, airline stocks sell off. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this is going to be some of the best shorting is going to be in the airline sector, I believe. And I think Alaska Airlines is at the top of that list. Let me take a quick look at Alaska Airlines. That's ALK is, and I'm looking to watch this one for shorting because I don't think, yeah, and it's down significantly even in trading today. Yeah, this one has a low of 20. This could go down easily. This could go down easily 10-20% this week. Easily. Let's see. Do you think we've reached the bottom? No, I do not think we have reached the bottom. I wish we had reached the bottom because I'm an optimist and I like to be optimistic, but I don't think we've reached the bottom. I don't think we're close because, and why do I think this? Well, we have not started to get all the numbers from, there we go. Okay, here it has. You see, here we go. And this is on my YouTube feed right now. I pulled this up. This is the headline. Airline stock fall as industry chafes at repaying coronavirus aid. Well, you know what? If they don't repay this, their stocks are going to be hurt. That means they don't have enough cash. Okay, Alcoa. Basic industries like Alcoa probably are going to be, they might be short candidates, but I'm not sure about Alcoa. Let's look it up. Yeah, Alcoa. Yeah, this is another short candidate. Absolutely. Yeah, no question. This is American Airlines. Yeah, American Airlines is another short candidate, along with Alaska. Wow, that's terrible. Alaska or Southwest, which is better? Looks like Love has. Yeah, I think so. I think Love is. You don't want to short Love. You don't want to short it. It has the better balance sheet. They're better at hedging their fuel costs. I think that the one that is going to suffer. I think American's going to suffer a lot. I think Alaska's going to suffer a lot. But probably American more than Alaska, actually, because it's a bigger airline. And they have some serious problems in terms of cash flow. What do you think BA will drop? You know what? I was shorting Boeing. I was shorting Boeing 2 weeks ago, and I did okay, but I covered because I just wasn't sure what was going to happen. And sure enough, the U.S. government zoomed in there, and they currently its ask is 148. I think it's a short down to about. I think it's a short down to about 99, about 100. So I think it is a potential short count, and I'm going to put it on my list. But the problem with Boeing is because it's so important to the national security, they're not going to let Boeing go. They're just not going to let Boeing go. So you're going to see it. It's not a pure short because the government is going to come in and prop them up. That's just the way it is. If you want to short but don't have the capabilities, look, yeah, definitely, Bobby. That's a great. That's a great thing to say. Is the inverse ETFs are the easiest, best way to short the market. Easiest, absolutely easiest, best way to do it for somebody that doesn't have the capability of going short in their regular account. Because first of all, you limit your risk, but second of all, they get almost the same movement that you do in shorting, but you are essentially protected because it can only go to zero, and there you go. So that's not when you do short the other way. Theoretically, and this is theoretically, you have unlimited risk because potentially the stock can go up to infinity, but as we all know, that's not true. And if you set your stop loss, you're okay. So that's a great way to go. Do you know why inverse ETFs are not doing better than they should? Government. Well, the problem with inverse ETFs is that initially in the downturn, everybody had discovered inverse ETFs. They discovered them basically. I was actually recommending them early as well. I had never really used them all that much in my trading because prior to really March and into February, I was pretty much of a long. But now a lot of people have discovered them. A lot of people are into them, so the moves aren't as good as they were. This is why, really, the way to go is to potentially short directly the ETFs directly because there's less of that going on. You typically get better moves that way. Just my opinion. That's why I'm doing the way I do it. Yeah, and the ratios are. That's true. The thing about the inverse ETFs that you have to understand is that the inverse ETFs basically are the inverse ETFs basically are reset every night. So you don't get the cumulative effect that you get if you short the indexes directly. And what that is that when you short, the ETFs basically short and then they cover their positions every night. So if you have a continuously move, if the movement is down in the underlying security, you don't get that cumulative effect. So it kind of resets every night. That's the reason why you get these tremendous moves on one day, but then a lot of times it'll move back to zero by the end of the day. So really, that's part of the thing. If you short the indexes directly, they will, they can have a cumulative effect where they will cumulative. If the index is going down, it'll go down and down and down, and then eventually it'll bottom and you'll have to cover. I typically like to cover. Right now, I'm acting more as a day trader than a long-term or swing trader like I normally do. I typically will cover. I will short initially if I think the market is going to move down, and then I'll cover basically before I come on because that way I typically see the most downward pressure during early trading. It seems like. How long should you hold an inverse ETF? Okay, this is a longer hold. Well, the thing about holding an inverse ETF for a longer hold is that because they reset each night, they can whipsaw. So I would be looking, if you have made, I like to close in this kind of market. I realize that in a normal market, they say let your winners run, which I totally agree with. But in a market that is moving lower, you want to take your profits fast. I know that it's an inverse of that. So you want to, because just the way the market action works. And if you're long, if the stock is moving higher, if it's in a confirmed uptrend, which by the way it is right now, the market is in a confirmed uptrend, but because it's coming off of a low, we're really in a bear market. So if you're long and it's moving up, you should definitely let your winners run. But that's in a regular market. In this market, though, I believe if you're short and you get tremendous profit, you should take your profits fast and furious, because these can reverse and you can lose a lot of potentially good profits if you don't. So I would close them out very quickly. Where do you think the SPY should open tomorrow for us to confirm the downturn? That's a really good question. I think that the spider should open at about it's right back up. Isn't that interesting? I think it's going to open at about 275. That's my guess. And I think it's going to open about 275. If the market is weak, which I do believe it will be, I believe it will retreat from there. But I think it's probably going to open about 275. That's my guess. They're going to try to hold it up. They're going to try to keep it, keep it going. But I don't know if they'll be able to do it, to be honest. I really don't. So that's where I see it tomorrow. Do you think it's we're close to the bottom? A lot of people are expecting the V-shaped recovery. I don't think so. I wish I did. I wish I did. No, we're not anywhere close to the bottom. No, we're not. I don't think so. At least I'm not trading on that assumption. I'm not trading on that assumption. I don't think it's going to come back. It's going to be happy days are here again when everything opens up. I think there's going to be unemployment. It's going to be very bad. The unemployment is going to be very bad. I'm not pessimistic because I do think we will recover, but I definitely think it's going to change this country. I think, for one thing, we're going to have a real jobs issue in this country. And I think that any of the work visas that have been issued, I think a lot of them are just going to go away because we're going to need those jobs for people from this country. I just think so. Okay, one last one, MIST. Let me take a quick look at it for today. MIST, looking at that, and see if I can get a bid. I'm going a little slow today. All right, earnings will start tomorrow. Yeah, with all the negative. Yes, I think the spider will be down. I really do. The impact of the damage has not, absolutely. It has not been, absolutely. Bobby, you're so right on this. You are so right on this. No, we have not seen, unfortunately, we have not seen even anything yet. And what I'm going to be trying to do for everybody here is tonight, I'm going to try to create a watch list of reported companies that I think are short candidates. And that will be on the website, hopefully, if I can get it to work. That'll be on the website at dallastradingfloor.com. I have my own website. And then anybody that signs up on that, possibly I'd like to start issuing alerts for shorts and for watch lists, just ideas out there so we can all make some money together. It's always a pleasure. I love doing this show. I love everyone out there with your questions. So appreciate it. The website again, just for you to know, my website is dallastradingfloor.com, www.dallastradingfloor.com. I've put this up on the screen on my YouTube feed and on Facebook. I'm trying out Facebook to see if it works. I'm probably going to go, because I can only live stream to 2 sources at one time, to Periscope, which I really like. I think it works great. Periscope and Facebook if it works out. And I'm going to probably wait on my YouTube stuff because a lot of that stuff gets on YouTube anyway. So there you go. All right, man. Talk to y'all tomorrow, and keep trading and keep positive. We're gonna get through this thing and make some money, and I'll see you soon. Thanks. And for everybody of you out there on YouTube and for Facebook, I really appreciate you taking the time to come and look. And if you want to get more information on my daily show, it's on market days only. It's www.dallastradingfloor.com. Just leave your comments there, and I'm going to try to put a watch list up that I'm working on, potential shorts. I'm really going to be short in the market. Again, I shorted the SPY today, and I covered, and it's good money. So hopefully we all can make some money together, and I love seeing you here, and your comments are great. And thanks for everyone. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.